Hello everyone, my name is Alex Cifuentes and today I'm going to talk to you about digital literacy, what digital literacy means, what a digital literate person is, and what a digital citizen is, why digital literacy is important, and the skills needed today. To begin, we will talk about digital literacy and the concepts of what it is. The American Library Association's Digital Task Force defines digital literacy as the ability to use information and communication technology to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information requiring both cognitive and technical skills, and as you can imagine is important and needed for our professional lives, school lives, and even our social lives. A digital literate person is very common in today's modern society, as most individuals have grown up with and used technology most of their lives. They are able to communicate in different formats such as instant messages and emails, and can often collaborate with friends, family, peers with just a simple click of a mouse. The digital literate population understands the relationship with technology as well as the information about its hardware and software to certain machines and systems. They understand the privacy concerns about connecting into the worldwide database, which we will get into soon, and often uses the technological skills to engage with the community and those around them. So why is digital literacy important today? With today's fast-growing world of technology, individuals living in society need to have the technical skills of online communication and computer use, or else face being left behind in a technologically growing society. It is the key to becoming more interactive with one another and leads to the creation of digital citizens. In reference to the workforce, both white-collar jobs and blue-collar jobs require some sort of background in digital literacy, with most jobs and information now being connected online and transferred over to cloud-based systems. This requires a basic set of computer skills, and that includes the labor side of work with production and accuracy being reported online nowadays. Within the entirety of the world, with citizens connected to one another on the World Wide Web, these individuals are known as digital citizens, complete with their own digital identity that is the basis for how they communicate online as well as their digital interests within social media and work. Simply, digital citizens utilize technology around them to interact with the world and its inhabitants. With knowing the concepts of digital literacy as well as knowing what a digital literate person is and the meaning behind the new members of society called digital citizens, we can now begin to review the certain skills that are needed today to be successful in work and school, as well as what it takes to live socially now that we are connected digitally to one another. To begin, we will talk about document creation, as much has changed when we began digitizing our work. Today's working world requires us to create and contribute new files on our computers that can be sent to our peers through email or a cloud-based sharing system such as Google. This digital skill has led our workforce to become much more efficient than it has in the past. Our next skill we will talk about is project collaboration and management. Just because our work went digital does not mean that we became more isolated. To adjust to this new change, we have learned new and different communication skills in order to start and complete different projects that we are assigned, whether it's in office spaces or even across the globe. Our third skill we will talk about is important within our work and our social lives. Focus is often a tough skill to keep as we face many distractions on the web or even through the applications we download. We often give our time to these distractions and as such diminishes our work and communication with one another. It's up to us to retain our focus and attention online in order to get the work done. The next skill we will look at is communication, and as important as it is on the personal level, it is just as important in the interpersonal realm. As we mentioned earlier in the presentation, digital communication is used through instant message, email, face-to-face video communication, and other unique ways we communicate with each other digitally rather than face-to-face. The next skill we will look at is an interesting one, as it is how we present ourselves online. Digital etiquette represents our social presence online, such as how our grammar and posts represent our education, how we address one another through messages and forums, and even what we post to our social media. It is the basis of your digital identity and should be thought about when communicating with one another. The sixth skill we look at is one most of us have been doing since we learned how to use computers. It is search and research, and it is a little more than just knowing how to Google things. Search and research entails that we have the ability to search the web and through digital archives in order to find correct and comprehensible material for either our projects at work or at school. Platform flexibility is a skill almost all of us know how to use, as we often use different products between laptop computers and smartphones. As such is the ability to navigate through different pieces of technology and software, such as using different computers with different operating systems, or even knowing how to fix and repair these machines, is a needed skill in today's consumer world. Security and privacy has become one of the biggest issues that is circulated in the news nowadays, and individuals should now know the basics to computer security in order to provide safeguards for their sensitive information, such as finances, personal and private information. Users should also be aware of different traps that are used in order to gain illegal access to digital systems. The next few slides will describe a scholarly foundation to the digital skills needed. Photovisual literacy helps the user read intuitively and freely, which helps them to understand instructions and messages that are represented visually. This gives individuals an edge when it comes to deciphering instructions, given to them on tasks that are needed to be completed in the digital format. We have talked about a few skills that describe how we communicate with others and how we want to be looked at when considering our online presence. Socio-emotional literacy is a new type of digital literacy as it involves the sociological and emotional aspects in the digital environment. This helps us to understand the emotional side of communication with our peers and often helps us to avoid cyber traps and security. Our final skill we will talk about has to do with what we post on the World Wide Web. Reproduction literacy is the ability to create a meaningful, authentic, and creative work by using existing pieces of information. This goes into making our digital etiquette and how we want to present ourselves when we post various information to our social media accounts and how we respond to others on the web. With the master of these skills mentioned in this presentation, individuals will be able to communicate, collaborate, and contribute with friends, family, and peers efficiently and effectively and become a member of the growing population of digital citizens. I hope this presentation gave you some insight as to what digital literacy is and that you use it to your advantage in the future.